I just read newly released news articles from Yahoo and the Miami Herald that were pretty eye-opening. The articles are about flood insurance premiums that are about to explode here in the Sunshine State and list some of the zip codes where insurance is expected to soar. Certain low-lying coastal areas of Florida, such as Hellgate on the East Coast near the Jupiter area in Palm Beach, Florida, is one of them. I know, such an odd name, but that's what it's called, so let's just roll with it. Flood insurance premiums are expected to rise significantly with an average spike of 342%, which is a huge increase. Flood insurance has definitely been hell for Floridians this year, as if the heat, mosquitoes, and rising cost of living wasn't enough for the average homeowner to bear. I love living here, but in all honesty, there's definitely some negatives, and the insurance crisis is one of them, and at the top of my list in my opinion. If you aren't the average Florida homeowner, and let's say you're a Palm Beach billionaire or a professional athlete with a mansion down in Miami, you probably aren't shook by flood insurance increases and have bigger fish to fry, like dodging taxes. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything you can about living in South Florida, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video. And if you like this video, hit the like button, which helps get our videos out to more people. I appreciate it. For those new to Live South Florida, my name is Jonathan, and my real estate team and I, we get calls, texts, emails, and messages on social media every single day from people that are just like you, who are looking to make their move to South Florida, or they already live here and want to either buy their first home or sell their current home and buy their new home, and they call us to help, and we love it. So whether you're looking to make a move next week, next month, or even next year, feel free to give us a call, send us a text, find me on social media, or visit our website,jalexandergroup.com. We'd be honored to help you with your next move, and be sure to check out that description below. Now, before we get into it, I'm gonna provide some context, so hold tight. The cost of flood insurance stinks, but it's kind of a necessary evil for homeowners in Florida, especially those living in flood-prone areas, and let me tell you why. Your standard homeowners insurance policies do not cover flood insurance, so in order to be covered for flood-induced water damage, you would have to purchase a separate flood insurance policy to protect your home. Here's a crazy stat for you. Before Hurricane Ian hit, only 18% of homeowners in Florida had flood insurance, and many people thought that flooding due to a hurricane damage was covered in their traditional insurance policy, and were unpleasantly surprised when they were in fact not covered. This was devastating news for people impacted by those storms, as they suffered major financial losses. For those of you that aren't from here or may not be aware, in December 2022, Senate Bill 2A was passed, and Citizens, which is our state-run insurance, made it mandatory for homeowners in their coverage areas to purchase flood insurance regardless of their property's flood risk. This means that even if you have a mortgage and live in an area with a relatively low flood risk, you still will be required to have flood insurance if you have a policy with Citizens. Of course, you can shop insurance in the private market, but unfortunately, the insurance crisis here in Florida has made Citizens, in most cases, the most affordable insurance for people, and quite frankly, they don't have any other options, but that's another conversation for another time. You need to get with an experienced insurance agent to know what your options are. In terms of new flood insurance requirements, many people have argued that this makes being a homeowner even more unaffordable in the Sunshine State. Now, while others support the mandate and believe that everyone should be prepared for unexpected flooding, the first flood insurance deadline was last month on April 1st, and that basically applied to all new customers residing in FEMA designated special flood hazard areas. However, homeowners in these areas are typically already covered by flood insurance due to mortgage lender requirements. Current Citizens Insurance Florida policyholders without wind coverage are exempt from purchasing flood insurance, but all other policyholders must get flood insurance within the next 4 years to maintain their coverage. Here's the main deadlines from a USA Today article. I'll keep this on the screen for you guys, but you can look at it up online, and I'll drop a link in the description box. Flooding is common here, and the past year has taught many homeowners some really hard lessons about the importance of having flood insurance. Just look at the impacts of Hurricanes Ian and Nicole on the West Coast that caught hundreds, if not thousands of homeowners off guard, high and not so dry without flood insurance. And just when you thought things couldn't get wetter, last month's historic rainfall in eastern Broward County proved that even if you live in a flood-prone area, your normal homeowner's insurance might not have your back when it comes to damage caused by rising water from the ground. Surprise! So what now? As homeowners scramble to protect their properties from future water invasions, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA for short, has some news for us. They've crunched the numbers and found that flood insurance costs in most of the coastal areas where you and I want to live are the most prone to flooding are skyrocketing. Again, the billionaires next door need not worry. You see, Congress thought it was a good idea to make flood insurance rates reflect the actual risk of flooding for each property, and to pay down FEMA's deficit, which was a whopping $20.5 million as of last November. Enter Risk Rating 2.0, the new pricing model that considers more risk variables than ever before. It's like an insurance algorithm's version of a Rubik's Cube. Instead of just looking at a property's elevation, they're now considering flood frequency, types of flooding, distance to water sources, and even the cost to rebuild. So what does this mean for homeowners who were hoping for a discount on their flood insurance? Sorry, definitely not today. FEMA released a spreadsheet comparing current average premiums to those under the new pricing model. I dropped a link to it in the description. And let's just say some people might need a bigger piggy bank. Palm Beach sugar daddy, or Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Okay, so finally some of the zip codes. Take Boca Raton's 33432 zip code, for example. Homeowners here can expect a jaw-dropping 229% increase in flood insurance premiums. That's going from an average of $950 per policy to a whopping $3,128. In our friends in Broward County's 3305 zip code, including Wilton Manors in Fort Lauderdale neighborhoods near the Middle River, are looking at a 209% increase. It's going from $1,099 to a soggy $3,400. Now, let's not forget about Fort Lauderdale's Edgewood neighborhood, which got a serious soak during last month's flooding. Average rates there are set to increase by 64%, which means that's going from $863 to $1,420. So much for staying afloat financially. Oh, and certain Miami zip codes are loco. Miami's Key Biscayne will eventually see flood rates as high as $7,000 annually on average, according to the Miami Herald. In parts of Pensacola, in the northwestern part of Florida, the average flood premium is expected to double from $639 annually to $1,293. So should you just avoid Florida and move somewhere else altogether? Not necessarily. It's not only Florida seeing huge rate increases. In Houma, Louisiana, southwest of New Orleans, the average premium will increase from $982 per year to a whopping $3,511. So maybe everyone just moves to the middle of the country, right? Wrong. It's not just coastal areas. Albany, Kentucky, zip code 42602, which has seen historic flooding in recent years, will see prices soar from $741 to $4,597. Remember, these are just the averages. Within each zip code, you'll find homes with different coverage costs. Some might be cheaper, while others might cost your summer vacation plans. And guess what? Homes near the coast, especially in low-lying areas, will have you reaching for your checkbook faster than you can say sandbags. It's like the insurance companies are saying, oh, you want to live by the beach? Sure, just pay us your newborn and sign here, here, and here. But don't worry, not all hope is lost. FEMA promises that their new pricing model will bring down costs for customers with low-risk characteristics. Unfortunately, it seems none of South Florida's zip codes made the guest list for that discount party. So what can homeowners do to stay afloat amidst these soaring costs? Well, a study suggests that investing in flood prevention measures can potentially lower insurance premiums. For example, elevating homes or installing flood-resistant materials can significantly reduce the risk of damage and help homeowners secure more affordable coverage. So all my Floridian friends and those looking to relocate here, it's time to embrace yourselves. Florida insurance costs are rising, and it's no joke. Protecting our homes from water intrusion is vital, and that includes being prepared for the financial waves that come with it. Now, before we wrap up, it's important to note that flood insurance is a complex topic, and the specifics may vary depending on your location and insurance provider. The majority of people purchase flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP for short, which is administered by FEMA and sold by various insurers, including Allstate and Farmers. The NFIP website provides a list of providers that you can browse. Also, depending on your location, you may have the option to explore private flood insurance options for improved coverages or lower rates. It's always a good idea to consult with a trusted insurance professional who can provide tailored advice and help you navigate flood insurance coverage. If you're a provider and have some insights, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from experts in the field, or maybe you yourself have been impacted by recent flood insurance increases. What do you think about everything that's going on? If you found this information helpful, hit that like button. And if you want to learn about other things to look out for when moving to Florida, be sure to check out this video.